So the last question that you want a client to ask you in any situation, and this is also a tip for clients as well when they're interviewing, don't ask the question that says, tell me about your career to date. Normally this is an infill question. It could be a question where the client's a little bit late for the interview and they've had no prep time, or it could be they're not a very experienced interviewer. What will happen in that situation is, for most times, it will be a 5 to 10 to sometimes 15-minute piece of time where the candidate's going to be talking and talking and talking. And the client's interest is going to start to wane after maybe 2 to 3 to 4 minutes. And then you've got this difficult situation where the client's almost bored and they really want to ask you some key questions and they really want to talk about their business issues and where you might be able to fix them, but you're still talking about your career 15 years ago. So we need to do as much as we can to avoid that question. The way that you avoid the tell me about your career to date question is make sure your CV is set up as an interviewer's tool. So we have to think about the CFO, the CEO, the chairman, and when they look across the first page, where are their eyes going to meet? Well, ordinarily what we find is that on the first role or your most recent role, they'll go to the bullet points that should be headed as key achievements. They'll pick out the first bullet point that's got a figure in there and they'll ask you a question. So the first bullet point could be, I improved EBITDA by 2.3%. And a great question from the client will be, I read your CV, I thought it was great. Tell me a bit about how you increased EBITDA by over 2% in the last company you worked for. This is a great question because it's the exact question you want them to ask you, because you can then give anecdotal examples of what you've done before, and then towards the end you can say, how does that resonate with you? Do you want to increase your EBITDA? Or it could be a cost reduction of 15%, then the question is, are you looking to do cost reduction yourself? Having that as one of the key bullet points, you're probably going to get asked that question. This is you tailoring the interview and making sure that the interviewer is asking you the questions that you want to be asked.